Just it. Just before he hits the ground.
And then McGonagall shows up, again, angry.
Right. The second he does this super awesome thing, he's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Shit. She's behind me, isn't she? She's like, Harry! And she starts screaming at him. And she basically takes the piss out of him in front of everybody and hauls him off.
Yeah, she won't listen to nobody.
Because he was flying and they weren't supposed to touch the broom.
Oh, he thinks he's in some deep shit.
Yeah, he's going through stuff in his head like, I'm expelled.
You have to wonder if she knew he was freaking the fuck out, or if she just wasn't even, if it wasn't even a thought to her. Because she immediately, once Wood is with them, she's like a totally different personality. She's like, Wood, I found a secret for you. So when they're walking, she's not a small talk person. So did she just not even think about the fact that this little kid is like, oh my god, I'm going to get expelled. Oh my gosh, she's getting Wood. I'm going to get whipped.
He thinks he's about to get his ass beat. And I don't think she's thinking about it at all. I think that she's so excited about what she saw him just do and that he's got some like raw talent going on that she's not even thinking like, oh, he thinks he's in trouble.
Which I think makes the scene way funnier from that perspective, that she's just walking along in front of him like...
Where was she to begin with?
I don't know.
I think she just saw him from like a window.
Just pops out of nowhere.
I think in the movie.
Well, yeah. I'm assuming it would be about the
movie,
same.
yes.
Like, how are you going
But
to see him in the air if you're not looking out a window?
He doesn't do the dive to the ground in the movie. He does it at her window.
Right. He just kind of, like, catches it,
Yep.
like, in the air kind of thing. Like, yeah.
In the book, it doesn't say
she doing
that at
her
all.
cat prowl around the grounds or something. And
Right.
like,
Oh, she could be cat prowling.
That's right. It was a little weird, because it's the second time this chapter that she just, like, was fucking there.
She pulled
maybe
a Dumbledore.
her and Mrs. Norris have something going on.
You would go there. Oh, Lordy
Well, I didn't mean it that way.
I mean, I guess I just went that way. Oh, sad day.
But so she drags his ass inside.
He's getting hauled in by Mick G.
That's right.
Hauled into
Mick G.
Mick G. to
Mick
the
G
school.
drags Harry to go see Woods.
Woody.
Before Harry sees Wood, he has a thought about how Hagrid was expelled and how it would be sad to watch Ron and Hermione, like, graduate. And then I had the thought that was really fucking sad for Hagrid.
Yeah.
Really fucking depressing. And then I thought about who was in Hagrid's class at school, like who he grew up with. And we can get into it in later books. But I'm just going to bring up that Hagrid grew up with Voldemort, just like Snape grew up with James and Harry grew up with Draco. So, like,
You're mind fucking me. I can't.
I never thought about the
Not
fact
processing.
that Hagrid, more than anybody, watched Voldemort literally grow up.
True. He did.
From the sidelines, depressingly. So,
Yeah.
I want to know more about the timeline of things in general, and we talked about this before with the groundskeepers and my questionings about that. I feel like I'm gonna have to do more research. I think it's curious. It's never really talked about, I don't think.
No, I don't think it is. I got feels now on that. That's very emotional.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, because, like, Molly, I don't know if Molly and Arthur were necessarily in the same class as James, right?
Yeah, because they're old.
Right, but they weren't in the same class as Sirius. Molly wasn't.
Were they
I think they're older.
upperclassmen, as I do my air quotes like that? Upperclassmen?
To James and Lily? They don't mention that. And where was Hagrid? Hagrid and Voldemort's classes were before Molly's? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I need to know now. Now I'm
we need to
thinking
look
about
into
it.
to years here or something. I don't know if we want to do it here in the first book or if we want to wait till we get deeper into the series, but
It's definitely something that we can come back to.
I never made the connection, and then my brain was like,
All cylinders are firing right now.
So, I don't know how you feel about that.
I have emotions about it. It's really sad.
No wonder Hagrid is so, like, connected to Harry. That would be a whole different level. Like, Hagrid was expelled because of Voldemort. And, like...
You really had to get that out.
Yeah, it's depressing. And then he had to sit at Hogwarts and watch Voldemort turn into what he was and then leave and watch him murder Harry's parents. All right. We need to get back to this chapter, because
We're getting all kinds of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm gonna cry about baby Harry. It's all sorts of things. It's sad. Okay, here we go. Alright. So, McGonagall takes Harry to Wood and basically tells him he's going to be the new Seeker. Harry sees his first smile from McGonagall.
Oh yeah, Mick G was excited about this. She was pretty ecstatic that she had found them a Seeker, and they were gonna, like, stick it to Slytherin, and they were going to, like, be doing good this year.
And they have to get him a broom, but they have to clear it through Dumbledore first. Which I think is really funny because it shows her competitive side, because it's so out of character for her to go to the students and be like, he's a Seeker. We have it all planned out before she even goes to Dumbledore and clears that a first year can be on the Quidditch team.
She starts talking about how she definitely wants to beat Slytherin because they beat them last year.
Right. You really see her competitive side come out, and it's in such juxtaposition to her stern, serious, by-the-book side that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It's pretty cool for Harry, too, that he is going to get to do something that first years normally don't get to do.
The youngest player in a century.
Right. And he's kind of ecstatic about it, and he's, like, on this buzz right now, like, I'm going to be a Seeker, and I'm going to play Quidditch.
I think it would be such a shock to you, because you don't expect anything like that. He expected to be expelled. So anything is better than being expelled, especially getting on the team.
Well, then he finds out that his dad played Quidditch.
Yeah. So he's following in his dad's footsteps, which he hasn't known anything about his dad up till now. That's one of the first pieces of information he really has to hold on to about his dad.
It's got good feels.
Yeah. After we leave Wood, we go to, what is it, dinner?
Yeah, they're off to dinner.
Malfoy comes up running his mouth, challenges Harry to a duel because he's not kicked out.
Wands only, no contact.
And they say they're going to meet at midnight in the trophy room, which is always unlocked. And I don't know how the fuck they know this as first years, that these rooms are always unlocked, or where they are without their maps.
They've been there for a little bit now.
It's been a couple weeks. It's not
So
even
Ron
Halloween.
busts out with being Harry's second for the duel,
Apparently you get a second. Didn't know.
just in case you die.
I was going to say, I like how Ron is like, fucking ride or die right here. He goes, dude, if you die, I'm totally going to take your place. Probably to the death. So while Harry is risking his neck for Neville, Ron is risking his ass for Harry. I mean, if Harry dies, anyways. Hopefully it won't come to that. His thing is they'll probably just be shooting sparks at each other anyways. But yeah, they're only 2 weeks in, and they're going to battle each other. And Ron's like, fuck yeah, if you die, I'll take your place. He's totally willing to die for his friend.
So they set it up for 5 o'clock.
And Hermione sticks her eavesdropping little ass in there again and tells them they shouldn't be doing it, and the boys shut her down beautifully by being like, it's not your fucking business. Goodbye.
So then later that night, they're getting to the trophy room,
They got to sneak out.
Hermione's creepily sitting in the fucking chair.
waiting.
I don't like people sneaking out of the dark. I don't care what your purpose is. You don't sit in the fucking dark and wait for somebody. You're a weirdo. Go away. That's all.
Why are you staring straight at me while you're saying that?
I
I like sitting in the dark. So what? It's peaceful and calming.
It got personal.
Right into my eyes. You're weird.
We're
Go
turning
away.
the lights on.
Right. It's creepy. Don't like it.
I think a little tidbit that's funny. They're in their bathrobes. I mean, it says they're wearing their bathrobes. They're not in their robes. Like, they're in their bathrobes. I find that to be just a little, like, hilarious. Like, we're gonna go duel in our bathrobes.
That's terrible planning. You know you're leaving your room. Get fucking dressed.
And then the fat lady's gone. So Hermione and Neville are both locked out with the boys.
Oh, yeah, they find Neville curled up on the floor because he couldn't get in.
I love how Hermione is like, fine, fuck you guys, when they're not going to buy into what she's telling them. She turns around and she figures out that she's locked out, like, in that exact same second.
But then she chooses to go with them.
Right. She goes, she doesn't want to get caught by Filch, but I feel like it's way better getting caught by him if you're right by your door, like, I got locked out and the bitch ain't here and I can't get in, other than, halfway across the school. Like, what are you doing over here?
Right.
There's no reason that you should be here right now.
Neville had a legit excuse. He forgot the password. It's fine.
Why is the password different?
Also, why is it pig snout when the last one was super fancy?
Capus Draconis.
Right.
And then now we got pig snout.
Right.
I mean,
Random as fuck, right?
a little bit.
So they get to the trophy hall, and the boys are not there.
And it's on the 3rd floor. I just want to say that. The trophy room is on the 3rd floor. I didn't realize it was. I, in my head, this whole time, thought it was on a totally different floor at the other side of the castle, and they ran a really far way. So,
The forbidden floor. Well, that part's not forbidden, but there's a part of it that is.
3rd floor is way bigger than I thought.
So there's more than one reason why they shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, they found out that Malfoy not only isn't showing up, but he's setting him up like a little bitch. Not even going to show up, but then narc on him. Little narc.
Hermione rubs salt in the fucking wound, and she's like, Malfoy wasn't ever gonna come. He totally just told Filch on you. Duh. Okay? Duh.
I have that figured out. Now, why don't you help me instead of show me how wrong I was? Like, that doesn't do anything to get us out of this situation. Shut the fuck up and help me hide.
It's sad because I really love her character. I really do. But these first couple chapters, she makes it so hard to like her. Like, you really understand why the boys are like, bye, go away, done. So they run from Filch. They run into the armor. 3rd floor is fucking huge, though. Like I was saying a minute ago, it's really large. They're running for a long time until they hit Peeves, and Peeves is in their way on the Charms corridor. And I feel like no matter what Ron did, Peeves was going to be a dick. So it's not Ron's fault.
Peeves fucks with everybody.
Right.
Ron's adrenaline was already pumping, so he was already freaked out. Because he doesn't want to get caught by Filch, or Mrs. Norris, or anybody else for that matter. And then Peeves catches him off guard, because they're already running and terrified, and starts threatening to tell, and that's too much for Ron, so he swings on him. And then, of course, Peeves is like, well, fuck you, and starts hollering that he's got students running around. What does he say?
Students out of bed.
Out of bed, yeah.
Students out of bed.
In the Charms corridor.
In the Charms corridor, which sends Filch running.
Because this 3rd floor corridor, because this off-limits 3rd floor corridor is really just the end of the Charms corridor. And there's like 30 other corridors on the 3rd floor, apparently, which they don't mention in their first beginning of the year speech. Just that one. That's super obvious at the end of the hallway that you go down every fucking week to go to your Charms class. No big deal, whatever. Ignore it.
Ignore that place. You can't go.
Filch catches up with Peeves, and then Peeves gives Filch a little bit of hassle.
Yeah, because Hermione gets all like, I've got this with her sassy self, and unlocks the locked door that you probably shouldn't have been going in.
I kind of like Peeves for doing this. He doesn't just fuck with the kids. He fucks with everybody.
Except for the Baron.
Except for the Baron, you're right. That's the one guy that he doesn't want to have anything to do with. But this guy is just laughing his ass off at everybody's expense in the whole school. He's not just mean to the kids, he's mean to everybody. So it's not like he doesn't really care if the kids get in trouble or not. He's just going to raise hell for them, and then when he sees Filch, he's going to cause trouble for him. And it's all the same to Peeves. He doesn't care. So he's like, I won't tell you nothing if you don't say please.
I think no matter how freaked out the kids were, they had to have enjoyed that moment behind that door a little bit where they were listening to Peeves fuck with him. Where they're like, ha!
Peeves loves it because he's in control.
You want more?
Yeah.
You want more wine, babe?
Yeah.
So now that everything outside the door is kind of fizzling